remember, he's always got an eye on you. Until we meet again.
Hi everyone, this is Triple T, and today I'm taking a look at Mattel Masterverse new Eternia Tri-Klops. First, let's look at this beautiful artwork here. As I always say, this is half the toy, because wow, it looks so good. You have that illustration on the side. You have, well, everything you need to know. And again, I've got the international version from Amazon, and I'm not really happy about that because I want a bio. Why doesn't Mattel just put bios on everyone? I mean, come on, I want a bio. And here you have some other figures. I have forgotten who that is, or I don't know, maybe. And we have Skeletor and Beastman up there. First of all, he comes with two swords, and they are very nicely done. This sword is a bit stiffer than the other. Doesn't really move. It has some blemishes there. I don't know if you see them. Unfortunately, I do. But it doesn't bother me that much. This, on the other hand, isn't that fun. I don't think it should be there, but if it should, it doesn't look that good. And this is a softer material that this sword is done in, but I think this is his original sword that he had from the very beginning. So, and the hilt is very nicely done, and the wrappings look good. So, yeah, those two. I actually wish they looked the same, because then it would be more natural for him to dual wield. He comes with a sheath that he can put over his body like that, and I think this stems from the mini comic that we got in the 80s, or in the book that I bought. Yeah, you can just put that over him and it looks horrible, but I'm gonna show that off later on. You can actually use that as a sheath for the second blade. He comes with two closed fists, but since I have him dual wielding, I will not be putting this on him. But they are well done. Cuff me, I've been a bad boy. And he comes with an alternate visor here, and it looks good. I actually prefer this to the one he has on now. I usually have this on, but for the review I changed, and that broke his head. I'm going to show that off just in a bit. It's nothing big, I can fix it, but still. Orange, red, and green. Now let's focus on the visor. It has this green scaly thing, and you can of course rotate it, and it tabs in when you come to the next eye, as you probably can hear. And if you want to change that out, you can bring this in. I'm just gonna have to hold this in place. And this is a bit more, you know, I don't know, less detailed? No, not less detailed. A bit demure compared to the other. And it's so difficult to rotate when this isn't on. It looks good. I prefer this. And if you don't want him having a visor at all, this is what his head looks like. Right now, I don't remember why he has this Tri-Klopsy thing. I do remember there being a story behind it, but right now I don't remember it. Let's get up close and personal with him. The coloration in his face is off from the rest of his body. I mean, mine isn't always the same hue as my body, but still. And you can, of course, rotate this. You have different eyes here. And what I meant about breaking, this should be glued in so that when you press this on, it actually tabs in. Now it doesn't, as you can see. Hair sticking out from the back, and you can see the sword here, and he has that really nice chest guard, and yeah, it's loose, it doesn't stick, or yeah. So if this bothers you, you will be bothered by this tune actually. But this is really, really, really nice. It's well made, and I like that the green is almost the same green everywhere, and that this gold is the same as this, almost. I say almost because it isn't, but it looks fairly similar. I would have liked them to have molded this piece a bit more straight down. Now it looks, well, nothing I can say in a family-friendly show. Nice legs. They are the same legs as always. And you have some nicely wrapped shoes here. And you have the same thing here. And again, it's very rounded. And here you can actually take this little piece of armor, or whatever you call this, off if you want to. But who wants to? I wouldn't. Because then it would be He-Man with a strange face. And no. Okay, for articulation, the head can go back and forth a bit. And I think that looks better than that, because this just looks like he's been sitting with his phone too much. So that's better. You can turn it around, it can look up, it can look down, it can change eye. His arms can do a T, of course, as always, go around, hindered a bit by these, and these are kind of stiff. You have a rotation here at the bicep, you have a double jointed elbow. His hands can hinge inwards and rotate, as we all know. His chest can go up and down, and you have a waist rotation. His head, his legs can actually hinge down if you want to, like that. It's good if you're giving him a wide stance, so he can actually stand like that. I usually don't. You have a thigh swivel, a boot swivel, and a foot swivel, and you can go up and down with the foot. And of course, you have that double jointed knee. I mean, this is the same articulation that every Masterverse almost has. So it's nothing new, it's nothing we haven't seen before, but still, it's good. Of course, you can change out the hands for gripping hands, but I don't like them because he's gonna dual wield, so... But we're going to put his swords in his hands, so you can see how that looks. The crooked sword in that hand, and that in that hand, just so you can see how he does things. If I don't move my scenery around too much. Yeah, he is really dual wielding the out of this one. And you can take these swords, if the head can stay together for the review, please. And you can sheathe that on the little armor piece. Now, if you want the other one stashed back here as well, you have to put this ugly ass thing on him. Yes, I said ass. And you can just sheathe this on the back like that. I mean, this looks like... No. I'm sorry, this just doesn't look good to me. I know this is comic correct, but... I wish those eyes were actually loose so you could put them on here. That would be a very nice addition. One thing I have to give him is he's very poseable. He's very, very poseable. You can actually stand him in positions you can't stand any of the other Masterverses in, so that's a plus. On the negative side, he has some paint blemishes here and there. The swords have paint blemishes, and this isn't as a sword should be. Of course, the head breaks when you use it normally. Yeah, tilt your head down in shame. Shame on you. But he looks like a Tri-Klops. What I don't really like is his face sculpt. It looks a bit strange for some reason. It isn't really Tri-Klops for me. Maybe that's just because I'm strange, but yeah. That's my thinking anyway. Now for comparison. Let's bring in my go-to reference, Stinkor. He's from Revelations, and you can see he's a bit shorter. But still, they would fit together, I think. And of course, my little favorite, Skeletor. And he actually works with both of them. So that's nice. Now for my conclusion. I think this is a really good rendition of Tri-Klops. There are some blemishes here and there, but if you don't mind that, he looks really good. He is one of those that I didn't have as a kid and I really wanted as an adult, so I was so happy about him not falling over. I was so happy about getting him, and I still am. There are some blemishes that bother me, and the head not working as it should. The left foot seems to be very loose. When I try to pose him, he just falls over. But in many stances, he looks good and poses well. The face is a bit off for me, but I like the skirt piece really, really much because it looks well done and it looks highly detailed. It doesn't look flaky or low res, as I like to call it, at all. It works just fine. There is a lot to like and a lot to just go meh at with this figure. So, for the first time, his masterpiece score is a 7. If all those things I mentioned as negatives were corrected, he would get an 8. So I think I'm being kind here. But we're going to see some of my other Masterverse pieces that actually gets a lower score, so you will get a reference for this score in the long run. He is still a recommendation. He is. He is a good character, he looks good, and he fits in with the collection I have, and I'm really happy about that. But still, he could have done with some more before leaving the factory, I think. But that could just be my copy, and I hope you don't get the same issues as I have, because then you get a perfect Tri-Klops. But I guess that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.